day 5 of our study of the books of Judges and Ruth. Now we're in the last day of examining the book of Ruth. And when Naomi traveled back to Israel, Ruth came with her. Now Naomi had a relative of her husband's, a worthy man of the clan of Elimelech, whose name was Boaz. And behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem, and he said to the reapers, "The Lord be with you." And they answered, "The Lord bless you." Then Boaz said to his young man who was in charge of the reapers, "Whose young woman is this?" And the servant who was in charge of the reapers answered, "She is the young Moabite woman who came back with Naomi from the country of Moab." You know that this book is actually a love story. Okay, so Naomi and Ruth, they went back to Israel. Naomi was planning that maybe I will ask help from my relative, from my kinsmen. And then, so the story introduced the character now. Now, they have a kinsman named Boaz. Now, he's rich. He's godly, apparently. And he's very compassionate with people. So, when he saw Ruth, he asked, "Who is that woman?" Now, you know, he got interested with Ruth. First sight, he asked, "Who is that woman?" He learned that Ruth is actually a foreigner. Another thing that we can see here is that God is not racist. He does not discriminate against other races. Now here, there's a foreigner, another race, a Moabite, and she will actually be saved and be part of God's family, God's chosen people, Israel. Remember, Ruth declared, "Your people will be my people and your God will be my God." So she will do that. She will commit her life to Yahweh, the God of Israel, and then she will be part of God's family. So God does not discriminate against her. If you are a Christian, this is how you should live out your faith. If you see some people who does not practice this and claim to be Christians, that just means they're not living their faith biblically. Okay, go back to the story. Boaz became interested with Ruth. They met a couple of times. They ended up being together, and then they got married. Boaz became the redeemer of the family. Remember, Ruth and Naomi, they were so poor. And remember, Boaz is very rich. So when they got married, tada, saved. So he's the Prince Charming, the knight in shining armor who saved Ruth and Naomi from their condition. So why is this love story here? Why is this part of the Bible? This story is part of the Bible. This story is significant because of this. I will read from Ruth chapter 4. So Boaz took Ruth and she became his wife. And he went into her, and the Lord gave her conception, and she bore a son. Then the woman said to Naomi, the mother-in-law of Ruth, "Blessed be the Lord who has not left you this day without a redeemer, and may his name be renowned in Israel. He shall be to you a restorer of life and a nourisher of your old age. For your daughter-in-law who loves you, who is more to you than 7 sons, has given birth to him." Then Naomi took the child and laid him on her lap and became his nurse. What's so special about this baby of Boaz and Ruth? I will continue to read verse 17. "And the women of the neighborhood gave him a name, saying, 'A son has been born to Naomi.' They named him Obed. He was the father of Jesse, the father of David." David is known as the glorious king of Israel. He led Israel into a golden period, golden age. And what we know is that the Messiah will come from the line of David. So the significance of Ruth in this is that she will become part of not just God's family, but in the lineage of the Messiah. That brings us to our principle today. Our lives have meaning and purpose, and only our Creator can reveal it to us. Maybe Ruth, living her life, she doesn't know her purpose. It's not just for her enjoyment. That's part of it, but the purpose of her life is to glorify God by bringing forth a child that will bring forth another child, that will bring forth a king named David, and down the line of David comes the Messiah. Her life is meaningful to God because she is part of God's grand purpose, grand design. Now, we don't see God's plan at times. At times we're confused, but when people become confused of the meaning and purpose of their lives, they tend to think, okay, it's either I end my life because I don't know my meaning and purpose, or I can just come up with my own meaning and purpose. Guess what? You're a creation of God. You do not need to come up with your own meaning and purpose, because the Creator Himself has a purpose and meaning for your life. If you want to know that, go back to Him. Go back to your Creator. Seek Him and ask Him, and He will reveal your purpose.